This is the Tidewater edition of the AEW Control Center. What's up, everyone? I'm Tony Schiavone. Tonight, AEW Dynamite returns to the Chartway Arena in Norfolk, Virginia. We take the air live tonight on TBS at 8/7 Central. For our fans in Norfolk, Hampton, Virginia Beach, Newport News, tickets available at AEWTIX.com. Tonight, the AEW World Title will be on the line as the champion Jon Moxley defends against Penta El Miedo. This past Friday, while we were in Jacksonville for AEW Rampage, Jon Moxley arrived looking for competition. The challenge was quickly accepted.
I should be celebrating. I should be at home in the winner's circle, eating an ice cream cone. After all, I just knocked out the #1 contender with a shot that would put a hole in a '57 Chevy. But I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. I came here to Jacksonville for the sole purpose of walking into the Khan's office and saying I want to pick up on Dynamite next week right where I left off. Hey man, you only live once, and I've wasted a lot of time in life. I don't want to waste any more. I'm good, feel healthy, and if there's anybody left in AEW that I haven't beaten, I plan on finding them. And that man is gonna have to have zero fear. Hey, Steps.
Mox, you say la palabra miedo? Fear? You know something? El único luchador en AEW que tiene cero miedo soy yo. Sé que eres un buen campeón, pero nunca te has enfrentado a un luchador como yo. ¿Qué piensas si el próximo miércoles en Dynamite, tú y yo, una lucha por tu campeonato?
Penta says he heard the word fear, and the only wrestler in AEW who has zero fear is Penta. Now, he knows that you're a great champion, but you've never faced a man like Penta. So, what do you say next week on Dynamite, you go face to face with him for the AEW World Championship?
And you know what? You are looking the next AEW champion.
You don't think I speak Spanish?
You know, Alex Abrahantes is right. Moxley, the great champion he is, has never faced a man like Penta. What a great world title matchup we have set for tonight, live on TBS from the Chartway Arena in Norfolk, Virginia. Also tonight, two of the greatest tag teams in the world will vie for the #1 contendership as FTR, Dax and Cash collide with Swerve in Our Glory, Swerve Strickland, and Keith Lee.
Gentlemen, what an insane 2022 you've had so far. I mean, you've got the AAA Tag Team titles, the IWGP Tag Team titles, Ring of Honor Tag Team titles, and you are currently the #1 contenders to the AEW Tag Team titles.
For the better part of a decade, all Cash and I've ever wanted to do was be the greatest tag team of all time. And I don't know if we'll ever reach that, but I'd say 2022 is a good starting point. I mean, we are the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions and the IWGP and AAA World Tag Team Championships. But coming with that is a big target on our back. So whether it's Dragon Lee, Andre Listico from AAA, or the Gates of Agony, as soon as last week with the Kingdom, they're gunning for our Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. We got that huge target, but ultimately, target or not, we want the 4th belt. The AEW World Tag Team Championships is our ultimate goal. Yeah, we've had the best year of our career. At the end of the day, we have to have those AEW World Tag Team titles. We have to be 2-time tag team champions, or I just can't live with myself. And right now, we are the rightful #1 contenders.
Hold on. I know you're not here talking about #1 contendership up in whose house?
Let's talk about excitement. You see, I've been waiting for this. FTR, I commend you. You were wise. You waited until we were no longer champions, even if we were cheated out of it, to make your claim, and maybe you thought you would just step right over us. And as much as I respect you, I need you to understand, this is so much more than just an opportunity for us. We get to prove something already, and that is everyone else, we get to prove them wrong.
Now, the fact that we're in the situation in the first place has me perturbed. I'm liable to do something that I might get fined for, even suspended. Easy. Proving our glory, we proved far more than we needed to. So at this point, it's not even about being in Norfolk, Virginia, going for the tag team championship opportunities against one of the best tag teams in the world.
Size and strength, speed, quickness, they got it all.
It's about FTR this Wednesday, surviving, swerving our glory.
This #1 contenders match, fans, is going to be exceptional. AEW, as you know, has been known for great tag team action. You're not going to find a matchup any better or more anticipated than two former AEW World Tag Team Champions colliding tonight. Also tonight, in tag team action, Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia meet the duo of Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta.
What Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia did to Bryan Danielson, I mean, they shot the first shot. Now it's our turn.
I think that every match is a must-win for the Blackpool Combat Club, but when we're facing the Jericho Appreciation Society, you know, we're not just out there wrestling, we're not just out there trying to get the win, which is always our focus. We're defending this. I think we're defending what we stand for. We're defending the Blackpool Combat Club, our morals, our values, because they are the exact opposite, the exact antithesis of everything we stand for. We are professional wrestlers. We are the Blackpool Combat Club, but we don't let you get away with what you've been trying to do, Chris.
Yeah, see, Chris, I can appreciate trying to win by any means necessary. I really do. But when you go after commentators, when you go after ring announcers, when you attack non-contracted talent, you're crossing a line. Jericho taught Garcia very well. They're both vampires. I feel like Bryan should have seen that, but what Bryan saw was the talent and the potential in Garcia and was blinded by that.
That talent doesn't mean jack if you're not surrounding yourself with the right people, if you're not focused on the right goals, and that's our big problem with Garcia. One day he'll find out, just like the rest of us, that Chris Jericho's just using him the same way he tried to use Bryan, and karma will come for him. I think it'll come for him in the form of us. Knowing that I'm wrestling Daniel Garcia in a match that Bryan Danielson is definitely going to be watching, it adds a little bit more to me. When he strapped my Pure Championship around Garcia's waist, even though he's supposed to be my mentor, he's supposed to be the one trying to help me out, he's supposed to be the one teaching me things. Honestly, it hurt. It broke my heart a little bit, but Bryan, I'm not anyone's consolation prize, and I'm not a kid just looking for your approval. I'm not out here to prove something to you. I'm trying to prove something to myself. Prove something to myself that I deserve to wear this name on my chest. Prove to myself that I deserve to be amongst the likes of Claudio Castagnoli, of a Jon Moxley, of you, Bryan Danielson. Chris, Danny, if you want to stab guys in the back, that's fine. We prefer to look you in the eyes and stab you in the front.
That's what's gonna happen this Wednesday on Dynamite.
Daniel Garcia, the ROH Pure Champion, has made it clear he's a sports entertainer, or systematic cheater, however you want to say it. He and ROH World Champion Chris Jericho, the leader of sports entertainers in AEW, must contend with two of the finest in the Blackpool Combat Club. Yuta, who Garcia dethroned for the Pure title, and Claudio, who lost the ROH title to Jericho, if you'll recall, back at Grand Slam. Now, in another matchup of the JAS against the BCC, Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, will go one-on-one against Sammy Guevara with Ty Mello. I think we all were surprised what Yuta said to Bryan Danielson.
With the right guidance, he could be the best wrestler we've ever seen, you know?
Wheeler, I can't help but sort of notice your reaction to Bryan talking about Daniel Garcia right now.
Yeah, the best wrestler you've ever seen.
In pro wrestling, especially when you're at a high level, like either Wheeler Yuta or Bryan Danielson, you get very emotional. But Bryan Danielson has been through so much in pro wrestling. He's such a pro. He's been wrestling for so many years that I don't really think this is going to impact him at all.
Bryan, he's clearly using you. He has Dragon Slayer in his entrance video. He was just using you to get what he wants, to get what Chris Jericho wants. He's a snake. And you didn't see it. I thought that when I bled for this, I thought that meant something. It means something to our world champion. It means something to Mox. It means something to Claudio, because he agrees with me. He gets it. He sees it. But I guess I shouldn't have met my hero. It doesn't mean anything to you, clearly.
I think he looks past this. I think he understands that Wheeler Yuta is younger, can be very emotional, and I think it's not going to have much of any impact on Danielson at all. I think the problem that Sammy Guevara has had, if he has a problem, and he is such a talented kid, I think the problem that he has had has been focused. And I understand it. I understand. Listen, I was married a long, long time ago, and I was in love, and I get it. But I never had my wife at the broadcast desk with me. So I never made out with her like he makes out. I get it, you're in love with your wife, and I do understand that, but he needs to put that aside and concentrate on professional wrestling. And apparently, being a member of the Jericho Appreciation Society, they're all for this. They like for him to be Sammy Guevara in love, and Sammy Guevara, a person that loves his wife and likes to make out with his wife before the matches. But he needs to stay focused. He needs to work on his wrestling, work on his wins and losses, and just leave the love somewhere else. My only advice to Bryan Danielson is watch your back, because he knows what Chris Jericho's all about. He knows what Menard and Parker are all about. He knows about Sammy Guevara. He knows about Jake Hager. He knows exactly what they will do to win. Danielson was really eager to get in the ring and wrestle on Dynamite tonight after what happened with Yuta during the sit-down last week with Renee Paquette. Guevara will meet a fired-up American Dragon tonight live on TBS. In addition, tonight in women's action, former AEW Women's World Champion Riho will meet one of the hottest and most talented in all of AEW, Jamie Hayter. And that means Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Rebel will probably be somewhere around.
Welcome back, Rio. Welcome back to your home at AEW. Where have you been, huh? I haven't seen you anywhere. Have you been hiding, having a nice little holiday, taking a rest? But of course, now you're back. A tale as old as time seems to always play with us. You just come flying at me off the top rope and then smash my head onto the floor. And it really hurt, and I didn't like that. But you know what I want to do? This Wednesday, let's run it back. Why don't we wrestle again? Maybe I'll come flying at you from the top rope. Maybe I'll squash you. I'm different from when we wrestled in Japan years ago. In fact, I'm very different than when we wrestled just last year. This Wednesday on Dynamite, I don't need to listen to that crowd cheering my name. I don't need them to tell me Jamie Hayter's good. I know Jamie Hayter's good. I'm not losing to her. Do you understand that? This Wednesday on Dynamite, I'm gonna get my win.
This and much, much more tonight as we bring you AEW Dynamite live on TBS from Norfolk, Virginia and the Chartway Arena right there at Old Dominion University. Airtime on TBS is 8/7 Central. Come early. Matches for you fans in Norfolk begin at 7 o'clock and stay after Dynamite for Rampage. Tickets at AEWTIX.com. All right, next Wednesday, November 2nd, we are back in Baltimore for AEW Dynamite live at the Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena. And then 1 week from this Friday, AEW Rampage will be live at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. That will be next Friday, November 4th. Tickets for all of our events are available at AEWTIX.com. And now, these timely and important announcements. AEW New Year's Smash comes to the Mile High City when Dynamite and Rampage return to the greater Denver area Wednesday, December 28th at the First Bank Center in Broomfield, Colorado. Showtime will be 5 o'clock local time in Colorado. And we return to Los Angeles at the Kia Forum for Dynamite and Rampage on Wednesday, January 11th, 2023. Local Southland event time is 4 o'clock for the Kia Forum. Now, tickets for the Denver area and for the Kia Forum will first become available this Friday, October 28th at 10 a.m. local time. Tickets make great holiday gifts, as you know. Get yours at AEWTIX.com and Ticketmaster.com. But tonight, we bring you a star-studded night of AEW action originating from the Chartway Arena in Norfolk, Virginia. Airtime on TBS tonight is 8/7 Central. But again, for our fans in Norfolk, come early, stay late. Matches start at 7 o'clock in Norfolk, Virginia. Tickets are available at AEWTIX.com. I'm Tony Schiavone in the AEW Control Center. I'll see you live tonight ringside in Norfolk and live on TBS. We are AEW.
On Saturday, November 19th, it's one of the most anticipated matches in AEW history.
I'm cashing my chip in full gear!
The AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley.
Getting in the ring with me is dangerous as all hell.
The generational talent, MJF.
For the first time in my life, I'm gonna earn it.
AEW presents Full Gear Live.
This is not a game. This is my life.